Hey guys, welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. My name is Monique and this is my second tarot channel here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for being here. Your continued love and support here on the channel. Those of you that are new, welcome. You may also want to check out my main tarot channel, Moon Moth Goddess, where I do have a bunch of other pick a card readings posted into separate playlists for you guys. I do have primarily love readings over there. But I do have another playlist that has all non-love related readings. So if you're interested in more content, especially if you're new, you may also want to check out that playlist over there as well. For those of you that would like to book a private reading, you can find my email down below in the description box, where you can send me an email and I will provide you on more information on booking readings, as well as other services that I do provide. I do have intuition building, one-on-one tarot instruction, Reiki, distance Reiki healing, and I also have spiritual and relationship mentoring services as well. So just send me an email and then I will get that information to you, as well as my availability for that. So today's pick your card reading, we are looking into what do you need to hear right now. Okay, so this is messages from your spirit team, whatever messages they feel that you need to hear at this time. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you click on this video and the messages resonate for you, those are the messages that are meant for you at that time. If you do feel drawn to more than one pile, that is perfectly okay for this reading, as sometimes one pile is an extension of another, and so you may have messages that are kind of spread across the piles. Go with whatever your gut feeling is telling you. Okay, if you're new to pick a card readings, what you're essentially doing is looking at the artwork, or you can look at the crystals to see which one is really kind of like catching your eye, or maybe you feel something. I don't know, maybe you feel tingles, or you feel some way drawn to a certain color or something of that nature. But basically, the one that you feel drawn to should be the one that does have the messages for you. Do keep in mind, though, that this is a general reading, so not all the messages that come through are going to be for you. Just please be discerning. If it doesn't fit, don't try to force it to fit. Just kind of ignore that part of the reading. That can be for someone else that is also watching this general collective reading. Like I said earlier, if you would like something more personal, please feel free to reach out to me. So what do you need to hear right now? We have 3 piles today. Pile number 1 is this little honeybee card with this citrine. And I'm going to try to pick this up very carefully, not to disturb this pile. Okay, so pile number 1 with the honeybee and the little citrine crystal, that is going to be for you, pile 1. Pile number 2, you have the card time, and that is with this Amazonite for pile number 2. And pile number 3, we have the card fiber, and that is with this flower agate moon for pile number 3. Okay, so pause the video if you need a little bit more time to meditate on the colors, artwork, crystals, whatever one you feel is calling to you the most. And we will look at your tarot, your oracle, and get into your messages that are meant for you to hear today. Timestamps are down below, and I will see you guys at your reading. Hi, pile 1. So those of you that resonated with the honeybee card, this is going to be a reading today. So we're going to put all your cards out, and then I'm going to share this little spot here with my little baby dear friend. We're going to put your crystal there so we have enough space for your cards. Let's see. Okay, so we have create, we have efficiency, And then we also have the Peace Walker. It says peace, gentle, and forward. I'm actually going to put this in here. And then let's look at your tarot. We'll save these. Your tarot, we have the Two of Wands. We have the Four of Swords. We have the Lovers. We have the Five of Spells, which is the Five of Wands. We also have the King of Swords, which is the Keeper of Challenges in this deck. And then we also have the Four of Visions, which is the Four of Cups within the tarot. So let's just take a second to look at this energy here. And I'm going to look at your other two little cards. We have the Forest Walker, and it says, keep courage and be gentle. And then we also have the Northwood Fae, and it says, take time for hibernation and healing. Okay. Take time for hibernation and healing. Hopefully this all fits in there. Okay, so starting off with your tarot, let's see what we have. Okay, so already I'm seeing we have take time for hibernation and healing, and you have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a card of rest, reflection, meditation, kind of restoring the mind, bringing peace. It's a very grounded energy. What else? Yeah, I'm feeling... Okay, I'm kind of seeing where this is going. Okay, so you have the Four of Cups energy here, and the Four of Cups is a feeling of boredom. And I feel like there is this very creative... This actually almost feels like when you have some type of like creative blockages. Okay, something that's kind of blocked here in a way, because we have efficiency, you being efficient, right? Efficient, we have the create with the creative energy. It even looks like these little paintbrushes here have like they're singing, like they have this music coming out of them. And then we have the honeybee here, and the honeybee is about you being in a place where you are taking time to look at basically like what you're doing, what you're creating. The honeybee is a symbol of a lot of dedication and hard work, and also community, right? In the way that bees kind of work together, they all have very important jobs, important tasks about getting something done, right? So I feel like what Spirit's saying here is that if you are feeling a little bit stuck, okay, at this time, that it's important for you to be gentle with yourself and to take time out to rest, because I feel like it is in this space. You have two cards actually, hibernation and healing with the Four of Swords, and then you also have keep courage and be gentle. And that being gentle, you also have here the Peace Walker, peace, gentle, right, and forward. So the number 9 is also like the Hermit energy, which is a place of solitude, a place of withdrawing. Because I feel like having the Five of Wands energy here, this is speaking about dealing with conflict, challenges. Fives are also a number of change. So there may be some type of change that is needed at this time, because some of you, I feel like with the Four of Cups energy, like I said, could be feeling a little bit bored or a little bit discontent, unhappy. You could feel kind of stuck. Maybe a little bit of loss of motivation, and You know, the Four of Cups energy is about us feeling indifference towards things. And sometimes this can put us in a little bit of a down mood when we're not really feeling fulfilled. We're not feeling happy here. So I feel like in order for you to kind of be in a place where you get yourself back into balance, because even when I look at this Five of Wands energy here, I'm imagining that you are this person here, and that here's your wand, and you're trying to like you're trying to create something here with your wand, but look at how all of this kind of like chaotic energy is kind of happening here in the background. You know, it almost looks like this person took their wand here and they kind of turned this person halfway into a frog. You know, it's like there's something's amiss here. It makes me feel like some type of blockage here. And so if it is something emotional, right? Or if it is, I feel like because we have the Two of Wands, this is speaking about ideas, inspiration, plans, you know, how you choose or want to move forward with something. And I feel like many of you have many ideas that you want to create, right? It's kind of like you have these tools in your hand, but also like looking at them like, okay, well, what do I do with this? Like, I don't know what to do with these tools, right? And these little paintbrushes are kind of like alive by themselves. It even looks like there's a little pen here. A paintbrush, a pen. I don't even know what these things are. They look like kind of like knitting needles, maybe. You know? But either way, these are tools of creating something, right? And so, on the other side here, we have an egg. It looks like an egg with a snake wrapped around it. So with the egg, to me, this is something that you are nurturing, creative energy, but also with the snake here, this is about maybe rebirth or transformative energy here. Like, what are you transforming? What are you creating? And so I feel like Spirit's saying here that in order for you to be, say, like the most efficient, don't force yourself, you know, don't force yourself to move forward or move ahead with something if your energy is not quite grounded, right? Because in order for us to be, say, productive, right, and to feel happy about what it is that we are creating or that we're working on, in order for us to move forward, we need to move forward in an energy that is balanced, that is focused towards whatever intention that we have. And so the Lovers is, I feel like, for more or less about you having balance within inside of yourself, your feminine and your masculine energies. But the Lovers card is also about your heart and a choice that you're making, a decision. So some of you might have a really big decision to make. Yeah, because you also have the King of Swords here. And the King of Swords is a card of a visionary, a plan. Taking action here. So yeah, I feel if you are feeling like you're a little bit of a little blocked, I feel like a little blocked, maybe a lot blocked for some of you. You know, even with the Peace Walker, it makes me feel like maybe spend some time in nature. Okay, spend some time in nature, and that may be something that really helps you to kind of get that energy kind of flowing again. I feel like this Spirit is kind of stressing the importance of you taking time to rest. You know, some of you might even feel a little bit frustrated too, like you're trying to work towards something and maybe you feel like you are being met with challenges. And I feel like Spirit's wanting you to feel peace from within inside of yourself so that you can move forward in a way that makes you feel inspired, that makes you feel creative, that makes you feel, I feel like, proud of whatever this is that you're doing or you're creating here, and being gentle with yourself, right? Being kind to yourself in a way that you are nurturing your creative energy, but it's also needing you to be in a place where you are of clear mind, you know, logical, rational thinking. Wow, I just heard a cat kind of, what do you call that when they're screaming, when they're yelling? Wow. I don't know. Maybe for some of you that makes me feel like if there's a cat in the background screaming. Maybe some of you are feeling, I don't know, because this Four of Cups can also be about distractions. And that cat just kind of distracted me right now. I don't know. It kind of pulled me away from out of this energy that I was in with your reading right now. So maybe for some of you, there could be a lot going on around you. Maybe there is a lot of stress that you're under right now. And you're just kind of, because of that energy, it could also be something that's kind of throwing you off balance, you know? So yeah, I feel many of you have a very powerful creative energy here. And I'm feeling this message about you kind of like not giving up. I'm also feeling because the honeybee, like I said, the bees all work together. They all have a specific role to play within working in the hive, right? And so I feel like Spirit is also wanting you to kind of like pay attention to what you're giving your energy to. Is it, even if there is something, you know, other people being involved or drama, arguments, stress, fights, an external kind of environment, it's like taking some time to think, does this really deserve my energy right now? You know, does this deserve my energy? If not, then, you know, we're kind of pulling back here. So yeah, I feel like the honeybee is taking time to kind of take an assessment of recognizing that you are using, I feel like, your time wisely, right? So that you do feel efficient. You do feel like you're being productive and can get certain things done. I'm also feeling, because of keep courage here, like let's just say you are someone who is going through challenges and you're feeling like, I'm trying to work on this thing or I'm trying to get this done, but I feel like I'm being met with resistance, right? With that keep courage there, it makes me feel like you are not giving up, you know, because the Five of Wands can also be very competitive energy. So it can be you learning how to put forth the energy to keep going with something that you're working towards, but also when you need, pay attention to what your body's telling you. Do you feel stressed out? Do you feel blocked? Do you feel, you know, just kind of lack of interest even? Because sometimes we can start something or do something and then just kind of get bored. Like, you don't feel the vibe. You don't feel like the momentum of getting it done anymore or feeling excited about it, you know? And I feel like it's like Spirit saying, like, let's make sure that you're in a place where you do feel like you are excited about what you are doing or what you're giving your energy towards. And I feel like that's important for you. Some of you might have a very important decision to make, right? And you want to make sure that you're in the best energy possible to be able to do that, or as best as you can, given what your circumstances might be, you know? If some of you are faced with a decision and you just kind of feel a little bit puzzled, you know, I'm also feeling with the Four of Cups, because this can be a card of a distraction. It's a need for us to pay attention, because the Four of Cups can be a blind spot for us. There could be something that we're not seeing surrounding us, an opportunity that could be missed if we don't pay attention, right? So some of you might need to kind of just keep your eyes open. And if you feel like you can't right now, you can't see a way to get yourself out of this energy, then I'm feeling like Spirit is saying, take time to rest, right? Take a step away from whatever you got going on and just spend some time alone by yourself, maybe to collect yourself some peace, like this is saying the Peace Walker, you know, in order for you to be able to move forward. It's doing something about stabilizing, I feel like, your own emotional and mental, because both of these are fours, and the fours are about stability, you know? So we want to be stable mentally, stable emotionally. And I feel like that is going to be something that helps you to progress and move forward, so that you are in a clear head space, right? To choose your path ahead and how you're going to move forward on that, to be productive, right? To be efficient with getting things done and also using your time wisely. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to start pulling my little channeled messages from my little self-made little oracle deck. So let's see what other messages for you, pile number one. What messages you're needing to hear at this time. What messages is pile number one needing to hear at this time, Spirit? Pile number one, messages. There we go. It says an unexpected visitor. Oh, well, maybe some of you do have an unexpected visitor, and that's what's like making you, like sucking the life out of you or making you feel a little bit unhappy. I don't know. We'll see. What else? Unexpected visitor. Let's see. What messages are you needing to hear at this time? I don't know. Maybe some of you have someone right now who just came in, or maybe this is something that's going to happen. So let's kind of keep our eyes open, right? See, do we like this person or not? Because maybe we don't. We have take care of your body. Okay. We have dreams becoming reality. Okay. Dreams becoming reality. Take care of your body. We have accountability and balance your chakras. Okay. And grounding is really helpful with that, you know, spending time in nature. You have your heart chakra. Okay, so some of you might be needing to really help with feelings, with emotions, release some things. Maybe going for a walk, spending time in nature could be something that does help with that. Okay, we have setbacks here and not seeing things clearly. Okay, and that's why I feel like Spirit is saying here, there's something that you're not seeing. Right? And that too can be something that kind of sets you back and kind of puts things on pause. So in order for you to move forward at this time, especially if you're feeling stagnancy or resistance or something, this is Spirit saying here, there's something that you're not seeing clearly. And I actually want to see what that is. Where's my tarot deck? Let's see. What is this that pile number 1 is not seeing clearly, Spirit? What is it that pile number 1 is not seeing clearly? What is it that pile number 1 is not seeing clearly? What is it that they're not seeing clearly? The Fool. The Fool energy is about unlimited potential and possibility that is available to you. Okay, so it could be that these setbacks for you are ones that if you feel frustrated, if you feel challenged, sometimes it's our own thoughts, right? Like our own mood, our own energy that can hold us back. And the Fool is just kind of like this limitless potential, you know, blank slate, basically. So I feel like maybe Spirit's saying here, maybe you're not seeing yourself as the Fool. You're not seeing what is possible. Right? And in order for you to do that, again, we're going into the Four of Swords energy, spending time in reflection, resting, healing. Let's see, who is this unexpected visitor? Of course, general reading, okay? So it can be different for all of you, but let's just see what comes through. Who is the unexpected visitor for pile number 1? The Six of Wands. This is about somebody being in the spotlight, some type of success, achievement. Some of you could be a Leo. I don't know. This makes me feel like maybe there's some type of celebration or something, or somebody who's gaining attention, your attention, or somebody who wants your attention, who wants you to notice them. What is this unexpected visitor, Spirit? Yeah, for pile number 1. Who's this unexpected visitor for pile number 1? The Moon. I guess you guys are not going to know who it is. We've got the Moon. The Moon is something that is being hidden. Okay? So you're going to have to wait. Pile 1 to see who this person is. But basically this is Spirit saying this person's going to be coming out of the woodwork. This makes me feel like it could be somebody that you're not talking to right now. There might even be deception surrounding this person. Some of you, it could be someone who's been hidden for a while that maybe you haven't seen or you haven't talked to. Okay, somebody that's seeking validation or seeking attention from you. That could be many different people, right, in your life. It could be a sibling, it could be a parent, it could be, we've also got Pisces. Pisces energy, maybe Cancer. What else, Spirit, for pile number 1? The support you need is coming. Okay, the support you need is coming. Let's see what else. Pile number 1. What messages is pile number 1 meant to hear at this time? What do we have? We have balance and temporary discomfort. So it's basically telling you here, if you're not feeling like things are really going your way right now, know that support is coming in that you need. This is temporary. Take a break, take a rest, take time to heal, time to just rest your mind right now, or heal maybe even things emotionally. Bring yourself back into balance so that you are able to move forward, okay? This is something that maybe is just a little bit of a temporary setback right now until you maybe kind of rebalance your energies for some of you. Let's see, what else? Pile number 1, what messages are you needing to hear at this time? Restore your hope and faith and your inner child. Okay, so some of you, it can be healing your inner child, connecting to your inner child, especially for those of you that are super creative, right? When we can tap into the limitless potential that the inner child has, right? It's just like the world is our oyster. There's so much we can create with that energy. Okay, so that is all that I have for you. Pile number 1. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, Pile 2. So those of you that resonated with the time card, this is going to be a reading, and I love the colors on this card. Let's see. Okay, and you chose Amazonite, so I'm going to put that there. We're going to pull out the rest of your cards. Let's see. We have Taste. Okay. We also have, wow, Listen. Listen and Taste. Okay. And then we have the Green Man with Nature, Connection, and Source. Okay. With Time. I like this already. Let's save these. Let's look at your tarot. We have the Council of Animals, which is the Judgment card. We have the White Heart, which is the Fool. We have the Ten of Wands, the Hermit. Wow, lots of major arcana. We have the Justice card and Death. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcanas. Wow, if that is not a message, I don't know what is. I don't know what it is yet, but we'll see. Okay, so let's look at your other little cards. Okay, the Gnome of Mushrooms and Buttons, and it says, seek silliness and joy. They are wise teachers. Seek silliness and joy. They are wise teachers. And then you have the Numina, and it says, seek inspiration in twilight wanderings. Twilight wanderings. Okay, so what is going on here? And that's funny that this card says that, Twilight Wanderings, and then she looks like she's leaving the house with her little lantern here. In the twilight, right? In the twilight. Okay, so what is this, Spirit? What is this going on here? Okay, so really, I'm seeing the Death card here. So the Death card is about something coming to an end. And I'm feeling with the Justice card here, it may be some type of cycle or karmic cycle even that has been complete. Something that's been completed. And I'm noticing that we have the Ten of Wands energy here. So this looks like what you are releasing and letting go of, you know? The Ten of Wands is energetic burdens. It's weight that you're holding on to or that you're carrying here. And even in this Justice card, she's got like these baskets of what? She's got flowers on one side and what are they, like little vegetables? They look like tomatoes. Tomatoes and maybe a squash in there. And she's holding them, like balancing something here. Yeah, I feel like with this 10 of Wands energy, this is something. Of course, it's going to be different for all of you, but there's something here that's either needing to be released or that you have released. And to me, honestly, if you look at these pictures here, okay, here in the Hermit card, she looks like she's going out, right? She looks like she's closing the door and she's got her lantern and she's going somewhere. And then we have this girl here who, there is home in the background. I don't know. Maybe this is releasing something and then going back home without it. And I'm not saying she left the baby there. That's not what I'm trying to say. But to me, there is a burden here. Something that she's releasing, energetically. Or you are releasing energetically. Something that you've been carrying. I mean, some of you could even be, making yourself busy or keeping yourself busy with doing things. Now, one of the very clear messages I feel like that is coming out here is you have time. Time. And I feel like this is important for you because I feel like a lot of us, as we're here on Earth, we get very caught up with rushing, hurrying, or feeling like we have to wait and we have to wait forever for this and wait forever for that. And it's kind of like we're so kind of tuned into the constructs of things happening with our timeline, right? Instead of the universe's timeline. This card of time is talking about both the lunar and solar cycles that we as man are meant to live by. Those are our ways of telling time through the cycles of the moon, the solar cycles that we go through, sleeping and waking and doing certain things. So I feel like the importance here is Spirit wanting you to start to pay more close attention to how you feel, about things that you are letting go of, things that you are releasing, and that you are honoring the time and the space for you to rest, for when it is time to also take action for you. Because you do have the green man here, and it says nature, connection, and source, right? And so for many of you, if you're releasing something here, which I'm feeling for some of you, it's a lot of karmic or even energetic burdens that you're carrying here. And some of you may even be kind of spending time in nature to do some healing, to do some releasing with the Hermit, because the Hermit is a card of solitude, of spending time alone, spending time in reflection, introspection. I don't know, maybe this almost makes me look like some of you too, like especially if you're a single parent, you've got a lot on your plate. You may have a lot of responsibilities. Some of you, this baby can be symbolic of something that you're creating and something that you're working on, She looks like she has a little paper in her little knapsack here, like a little list of things, maybe a list of things to do. Maybe some of you have been really busy and now it's kind of just like this time to just let things go and take a rest, take a break. But this death energy is very transformative. And I feel like it's because you are releasing something here, letting something go. I'm also noticing in this death card, which is actually really pretty, because it's so very like Halloween-like with the blacks and the oranges, with the autumn colors here. But yeah, I noticed that there's a woman back here grieving, So maybe for some of you, I don't know, maybe some of you have lost a child, and this is something that you're working towards healing and releasing here as well. You could be grieving the loss of a relationship, working towards letting something go. Maybe some of you are doing a lot of inner child healing work that you're releasing. Okay, it's going to be different for all of you, but yeah, I'm definitely feeling there's a lot of very powerful transformation energy that's happening within you. And I definitely feel like it's something that's making you feel a lot lighter. We have Judgment here, and Judgment is really about us. It's also about karma, actually. It's also about us taking some time to reflect upon the past and to look at what cycles we've gone through, what we've learned from them. It's a time for us to forgive, to release our burdens, which is actually what's happening here, so that we may find renewal within the self, right? And then we have the Fool energy here, and the Fool is kind of like this newborn soul, this newborn spirit, right? So in some way too, this 10 of Wands can be symbolic of this is being the old you, and this is you kind of ushering in the new version of you without the burden. You know, you can look at it many different ways, but there's this doorway here too, this archway. So to me, this is like you're coming into a new path. You're coming to the close of one cycle here and then into the next, right? Change, transformation that's happening for you. With Judgment, right? We're releasing our burdens. We're releasing everything that we've been holding on to. Pain, grief, guilt, shame, letting it all go so that we may find renewal within ourselves, right? And so I feel like maybe with the time energy here that this is Spirit saying, maybe working with the lunar cycles or the solar cycles might be something that is very helpful for you. So you can also start to pay attention to how the lunar cycles affect you. I know they affect me. And normally when it's like, say, full moon time, I can't sleep. I can't sleep. I have anxiety so bad that it gives me insomnia when there's a full moon. So I know that about myself. So I just noticed, like, maybe what do you notice, you know? What happens to you with the cycles, right? And I feel like that's what ultimately we're meant to, is learn how to work with the cycles, right? And pay more close attention to that. Maybe for some of you, it's a need for spending more time in nature, spending more time alone, resting, introspecting, healing, because we do have listen here, you know? Listen to me is not only about, not listen to me, but you are listening to me. But what I'm thinking with this is that many of you could be listening to yourself, your intuition, right? You're checking in with yourself, listening to what your body feels, what it needs, you know, because for some of you, this says seek silliness and joy. They are wise teachers. So that can even be you, you know, taking some time for yourself to maybe even create new friendships, new connections with people, do things or fill your time, you know, with things that make you happy, people that are supportive, people that are, I don't know, funny, have a good sense of humor, you know, and sometimes with us releasing a lot of the stress that we're holding on to, you know, it can help us to lighten us up a little bit, right? Lighten our load that we're carrying here. So we feel much more free in this energy. And the Fool is about keeping ourselves open to possibility, open to potential, right? Creating something new here. So yeah, I'm feeling there's a need for listening, and that is to what your soul desires, right? Because we have seek inspiration in twilight wandering. So some of you that feel, you know, like maybe you're wanting to create something new, that, I don't know, maybe for some of you it could be going for a walk in nature, you know? If you're able to. Doesn't necessarily have to be at night, but maybe for some of you, even going out and sitting in your backyard in the evening, or sitting out on the patio in the evening and just kind of in the quiet and the stillness, if it is, unless you live in a busy city, then it can be a little bit hard to do that. But maybe, like, I don't know, going camping or going up to the mountains, a forest, the ocean, the lake, a river, somewhere peaceful where you can just kind of feel a little bit more secluded. And that's what I'm seeing there. Now with this taste card here, this is about us needing to pay attention to how we're communicating. And that can be internally or it can be externally. Okay. because basically this card is talking about this little snake tongue here, this tongue that's out here. There's a lemon, there's these chili peppers. I forgot what this one is. But basically what the meaning of this card is, and then there's a honey here, okay? Basically what this card is saying is that there's all of these different tastes, right? There's the sour, there's the salty. This is a little bowl of salt. There's chilies here, which are hot, okay? I don't know what that is. I think it's mint. That's right, it's mint. That all of these things can put a certain taste in our mouth, right? And so there's a need for us with this card to watch what we say, how we say it, right? Like in our communication with other people, with friends, with family members, even within ourselves, right? What is our inner dialogue like? Are we talking down to ourselves? Are we putting ourselves down? Are we saying mean things to other people? Are we, so I feel like, especially with the silliness and the joy here, where spirit's kind of like in a way wanting you to kind of lift your spirits, I feel that taking some time to think about how maybe what you're going through is affecting you, take some time to listen to what it is that you're feeling. Are you feeling upset? Are you feeling angry? Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling joy? What kinds of things are going on with you? So, even if, like, let's just say it is grief or pain or sadness, something that you're releasing here, how is that affecting the way that you are communicating? Sometimes if we're going through something really challenging, we can take it out on other people and not even mean to do that, So I feel like it's important, where Spirit is saying here, it's important to take some time for reflection, introspection, to check in with yourself, to listen to what your soul needs, right? Honor your body here in terms of time with the cycles, right, that we go through, so you can say, okay, the burdens that I'm carrying are starting to affect me in this way or in that way. They're taking my joy away, or it's taking away my sense of security, or whatever it's making you feel, right? You honor that and say, okay, what do I need to release? What can I let go of so that this isn't something that's hindering me and holding me back from me feeling the sense of freedom that you should feel within inside of yourself, right? That we should feel joy, we should feel happiness, right? And if we are literally going through something that's painful or challenging, that we also honor that and allow ourselves that time and space that we need so that we can heal. Okay? Maybe for some of you, it is literally, wanting to feel inspired again. Some of you may have put forth a lot of energy towards certain creative projects that you have, and now you're like, okay, well, that's coming to an end. What now? What else do I want to create? What do I want to start now, right? So it can be taking a look at certain things that you're investing your time and energy into and deciding, okay, well, I don't need to do this anymore or that anymore. What can I let go of so that I can start something new, right? Justice is all about balance, and it's also about making decisions and choices to serve our highest good, okay? So let's get some messages. I'm actually going to pull some little channeled messages that I have from my little self-created, self-made, homemade oracle deck. So let's see pile number 2. What messages are you needing to hear at this time? Yeah, because we have connection to source here. So many of you, if you're feeling, little detached, little disconnected with things, that you reconnect to your spiritual self, you reconnect to nature, you reconnect to your higher self, your spirit guides, okay? So we have, look at that, you're a divine channel, or you're a channel for divine wisdom, okay? It says this involves surrender, and you can survive the storm, okay? So whatever this is for some of you could be a need for surrender, which means basically letting go of the need to control, okay? Let's see, what else? Maybe surrendering to time, What messages does pile number 2 need to hear at this time? We have like-minded people, okay? So maybe for some of you, it is spending time with people that are like you. Like I said, people that are silly, people that are funny, people that lift your spirits, right? Surrounding yourself with supportive friends. And if you don't have any friends, make some friends, right? Which is easier said than done. I get it, because I'm pretty much a loner myself, but you can go out and meet people somewhere. Okay, what messages are you needing to hear at this time? We have ungrounded energy. Ungrounded. Okay. So when you are feeling maybe a little bit ungrounded, right? We can, yes, spend time in nature to reconnect to self, reconnect into balance energy. What message is pile number 2 meant to hear at this time? We have challenging relationships. Okay. So maybe for some of you, it could be with family members, friends, romantic partners. That can also be something that's throwing your energy off here as well, right? We have raise your standards. Okay. So it may not be for all of you, but some of you are needing to raise your standards. Okay. We have shamanic journey. Maybe some of you might benefit from going on a shamanic journey. If that is something that you're interested in, then Spirit is giving you that confirmation that that might be for you. We also have self-love. Let's see what else. Let's see. Pile number 2. We have a spiritual assignment. What is that? What are you doing, pile 2? We might have to look at what that is. What is your spiritual assignment? Maybe your spiritual assignment is to release right now. You know? So that you are able to transform. Or maybe your spiritual assignment is to go on a shamanic journey. Whatever you feel called to. Maybe some of you, maybe there is something for some of you to let go of. And that is your assignment. Release. Let go. Heal. I'm kind of curious though, so I'm going to look. What are you needing to hear at this time, pile 2? We have the magic lies within you and balance your chakras. Okay. So I want to look at your spiritual assignment. Like I said, this is a general reading. So if it doesn't really fit, then don't take the message, but we'll see what comes through. If it applies to you, okay, so what is this spiritual assignment for pile number 2, Spirit? What's the spiritual assignment? The 9 of Cups is for you to feel joy and happiness. You to experience joy and happiness, fulfillment again, or doing things within your life that do bring you fulfillment. The 9 of Cups is the card of our wishes, our dreams, feeling abundant, feeling happy, feeling satisfied, right? So in order for us to do that, sometimes there are things we have to release, right? And let go so we can feel balanced again. We can feel happy, right? Which is our true nature. And then we have the High Priestess, okay? The High Priestess energy as your assignment can also be learning to listen to your intuition, right? It can also be you withdrawing from people, spending some time alone and just listening intuitively, right? What are you feeling? What's going on within you? Okay. What is pile 2's spiritual assignment? The Strength card. To me, this is about you not only building up your confidence, your self-esteem, your courage, letting go of fear, but it's also about you finding your inner power, right? Your inner power, your inner strength. Okay. And also treating yourself kind, gentle, right? Especially for those of you that really are going through some really closing out some cycles here. Take it easy, right? Take your time. Take your time with the healing, with the releasing, honoring that time and that space that you're in right now. Okay? So that is all that I have for you, pile number 2. I do hope this reading was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, pile 3. So those of you that resonated with the fiber card, this is going to be your reading today. So we are getting into what messages are you needing to hear at this time. So let's put out your cards. We have perception. Perception. We also have witch bones. Witch bones. Let's do that. And then we have master of the hunt, and it says speed, masculinity, and flow. Speed, masculinity, and flow. Let's see your tarot. Okay. We have the 9 of visions, which is the 9 of cups. Suspension, which is the hanged man. The 6 of visions, which is the 6 of cups. The page of swords. The 10 of cups. And also the ace of wands. Okay, and let's see these little cards here. We have the hedge guardians, and it says walk widdershins and seek the land under the hill. And also the autumn fae, and it says go slowly and listen closely for the words of the tree spirits. Okay, I almost feel like all 3 piles had like very similar messages, and that's kind of like about, maybe that's like a collective energy type of thing that we need to just kind of slow down a little bit, because it's almost like the universe is like forcing us to really take some time to rest and to really think about what we're doing, where we're putting our time, where we're putting our energy. What are we investing into? Because I feel like 2 similar energies that you have here are the witch bones and also the fiber, okay? If you notice at the bottom of this fiber card, there's a lot of like weaving here at the bottom, where you also have in the witch bones, there are these threads that are coming out the bottom, and they're kind of keeping everything together on the inside, right? There's also this moon that is here, which is funny because you guys have this. It's like the same little moon shape here. But I feel like it's like spirits wanting you to really kind of focus on your intuition at this time. Like I said, it's kind of like a similar message. So you may have even felt drawn to other piles with this. I feel like it's kind of a similar message across the board. Okay, now what I'm kind of seeing here for you, why these 2 things are important is because I feel like spirits wanting you to pay close attention to the connections that you have with other people and what you are kind of focusing on building, and also the patience that comes along with building something that is solid here as well. What else am I seeing here? Okay, so you do have, is there any major arcana? Just the hangman, and also you got perception here. And the hangman is about perspective. Okay, so maybe there is a shift of perspective that is needed. I'm feeling for some of you, we have the 9 of Cups energy here, and the 9 of Cups is about wishes, dreams, being fulfilled, things that make you feel happy, things that make you feel abundant. And you have the 9 and the 10 of Cups here, you know? And I feel like there's also this very creative energy here with the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is about a spark of inspiration, a spark of creative energy. And, you know, I am looking at this as something that you could potentially be creating, building, even connecting with another person or the people that are in your life. And this pile makes me feel like looking at it, because this energy is very beautiful, you know? It has like this very kind of like ethereal, kind of harmonious, balanced energy here. And the Ten of Cups is a beautiful energy in that it is about joy, happiness, fulfillment. And we can see like there's a dog and a cat. These two friends that are here, they could be a couple. And there's two little children here as well. And I feel like this shows a lot about you. I'm feeling like the kind of like the need for being present, okay? Because some of you, I feel like with the Six of Cups energy, it can be a very dreamy energy. It can be a very much about nostalgia of the past, you know? And I'm feeling there is a message here about you also being happy in the present moment, you know, and finding fulfillment in this moment. And so many of you might need a little bit of a change or a shift of perspective, or to kind of take a pause and step back, maybe outside of a situation that you could currently be in, and take that time, maybe even to connect with your inner child for some of you. Because with the Page of Swords energy here, this is about accessing clear thinking and about making decisions and choices, and also being open to learning. And I'm also seeing here, there's a little girl that's sitting here or laying down here reading a book, you know, and there's a lot going on around her. We've got a frog down here. And there's a bunch of little animals that are kind of like scattered all over the place. We got an owl up here who also has books in his little thing. There's some people down here, some animals down here in a boat. There's fairies and butterflies and little forest creatures, elves and fae, and it's just a lot going on, right? And she has a smile on her face. She looks happy. It's just like this very, like I said, a very beautiful ethereal energy. And I feel like Spirit is wanting you to really kind of stay focused on what your dreams are, things that are going to bring you about fulfillment. And it may just be about understanding that these things happening for you don't just have to be about you just daydreaming about them or just fascinating about or fantasizing about them, but more or less that you have the opportunities to be able to create, to be able to weave, right, in a way, your life and your connections with others. And to me, when I'm looking at these two energies over here, talking about seeking the land under the hill, to me, she looks like the hermit. She's out on a journey. She's out for a walk. Kind of Page of Wands energy too, which is about exploring. It's about discovery. And it says, go slowly and listen closely for the words of the tree spirits. So look at that. Even the moon right there too, with your little moon. You know, it makes me feel like Spirit's really wanting you to tune into your intuition, right? With where it's leading you, where it's guiding you. So maybe it is about a change or shift of perspective for you, in that you are working towards the things that do make you happy, the things that do bring you fulfillment, right? And it's all in the way that we perceive the here and the now of our connections with others, with family members, with our children, with friends, with romantic partners that we might have in our life. You also have Master of the Hunt, and it says speed, masculinity, and flow. So to me, this is also about a lot of masculine energy for you, in that you are taking action, right? Making decisions, making things happen for yourself. But again, I'm feeling like it's paying attention to what you are creating, right? That not that you're just creating from a space of this is good for now, but more or less paying attention and closely to the connections that you are developing or working towards in your life, that you are putting or handling them, I would say, with great care, you know? Many of you, the masculine energy could be about you taking action, right? Making decisions, getting things done, right? And maybe if you feel like there's a lot that it's almost like I said, I feel like Spirit's wanting you to focus on the present moment. And maybe for some of you, you daydream a lot about things from the past, or you could be kind of even stuck in the past, right? Romanticizing the past. And it's almost like Spirit saying here, focus on the present, focus on what is here and now, so that you can find happiness in this moment and focus that intention towards the things that you are creating now, because the fiber energy is about our ancestors and those connections that were made before us, the connections that we will create in our space now, and the ones that will lead into the future. So it's like a really important time for you to focus on where and who you are giving your energy to make sure that it truly is something that is bringing about happiness and fulfillment for you. And Spirit kind of letting you know here that it is possible for you to create something new. I'm also noticing there's a snake here wrapping around her wrist here. So to me, there's also a lot of transformative energy that's taking place within you. Some of you could be going through this rebirth process. Some of you could even be going through a spiritual awakening, and perception change is something that's definitely happening for you. You could even be seeing life in a very different way. You know, you could be feeling a lot more happy, a lot more content, a lot more fulfilled and satisfied with your life. And now kind of, you know, maybe getting focused on decisions that are going to lead to happiness. And some of you, it might just be about shifting that perspective into the present moment so that you can create these energies surrounding you that are supportive, right? Whether that be with friends, family members. But basically this Ace of Wands energy is Spirit kind of giving you what you need to be able to create maybe even a new beginning for yourself. And that's what the Ace of Wands is about, you know? So if you're kind of feeling a little bit lost on your path, maybe it is a time for you to, you know, like the saying is, kind of get lost under the hill, right? The land under the hill, and maybe a little bit of retreat so that you can kind of say, okay, well, what do I feel called to do? What do I feel called to create here? Okay. So let's pull some oracle, and I'm just going to use my little self-made little channeled messages for you guys and see what messages you are needing to hear at this time for pile number 3, Spirit. What are they needing to hear? We have coming to fruition. Okay, so maybe for some of you, something that you've been working towards, Spirit is giving you confirmation that this is coming to fruition for you. Because the 9 of Cups is basically like a wish fulfillment card, you know, maybe something that you guys had been thinking about is something that's going to be happening for you, okay? Something that you have already invested your time and energy into. Something's coming to fruition for you. Let's see, what messages is pile number 3 needing to hear? We have the inner child, okay? So like I said, for some of you, it could be paying attention to the inner child, healing the inner child, connecting even with your inner child. Okay, maybe feeling inspiration to create something. We have a romantic partner. I don't know what that's about, but we'll see what it is. I don't know what about your romantic partner. Okay, let's see. We have use caution. Okay, so maybe for some of you, I don't know, maybe there is a shift of perspective here the Spirit is maybe telling you about, especially if you are someone who is kind of stuck in limbo, maybe with someone from the past. Maybe this is where Spirit is saying use caution here. Okay, that message may not be for all of you. Some of you may know we've got toxic feminine, and also allow your higher self to guide you. Okay, so I don't know, maybe for some of you there is a partner, a romantic partner, who's got some toxic feminine energy. Or you yourself can have some toxic feminine energy, okay? The toxic feminine, how is the best way that I want to describe this? Okay, so, It kind of makes me feel like when the feminine energy is out of balance, feminine energy can become very cold, very detached, very closed off. It can also become very clingy, very needy, very obsessive. What else? Smothering, codependent. Okay. And that could be you that takes on that energy, or it can even be someone else, right? A parent, a family member, even a romantic partner, right? Because we have both feminine and masculine energies. So this can even be talking about some of you, a romantic partner that you're connected to that has some toxic feminine energy. Okay, let's see what else. What messages are you meant to hear at this time? Right, and the way in which you would heal that is focusing on self-love. Okay, really healing any type of, and that may even come from childhood, right? Your inner child. Nurturing the inner child, which can help you to heal even the feminine energy. Okay, let's see what else. We have important connections, and you've got romantic partner, use caution. I'm going to pull some tarot to see what this is talking about, but let's get the rest of your messages out. What are you needing to hear at this time? It says restore hope and faith, and I'm going to pull from this one now. I don't know if you guys can hear that. There's a landscaper outside, but it's not even in my yard. I think it's next door. What messages are you needing to hear at this time for pile number 3, Spirit? We have obsessions, okay? And I feel like that kind of would fall into this toxic feminine energy, okay? Becoming obsessive, clingy. We also have half-hearted efforts. Okay, so since we have romantic partner, I don't know. It could either be you that's putting in the half-hearted effort, or some of you could be dealing with a romantic partner that Spirit's saying use caution with. If it's a romantic partner who's not really putting in the time, the energy. Maybe they are obsessive, clingy, needy. That would be something to watch out for. We have you're not supposed to fit in. Okay, you're not supposed to fit in. And then we have something of value. So let's start clarifying a little bit of this. So what does pile number 3 need to use caution with, Spirit? What does pile number 3 need to use caution with? The moon, illusions, things not being as they seem. This is deception. Now it could be someone around you that's being deceptive. It could be that we are stuck in an illusion and Spirit's saying use caution because something's amiss here. Okay, it could be your own mind, right? Your own anxieties, your own fears, something not being clear to you, not perceiving something clearly. What is pile number 3 needing to use caution with, Spirit? This Empress, she wants to come in reverse. Okay, this would be the toxic feminine energy. Now, some of you, like I said, it could be a romantic partner, because we do have that here. We have an important connection, a toxic feminine. Like I said, it can either be you that's taking on that energy with the obsessive energy, which can happen with the moon energy. This is also blocked energy, meaning somebody could be blocked heart chakra. Like I said, it can be when we are closed off. We can also become very controlling, very bossy, very, what else with this? Smothering, clingy, needy, codependent, attachments, right? So I feel like Spirit's saying here, maybe some of you are not seeing something clearly. Maybe it's even yourself, you know, your own behaviors that you want to watch out for. Okay, so just being mindful of that, you know. Okay, so what is this? Because we do have obsessive with toxic feminine. Okay, so what is this important connection for pile number 3? What is this important connection, Spirit? Some of you, it may even be a mother or another female, okay? Another female. It can be like a sister or a friend or somebody in your circle that Spirit's saying watch out for, because all is not as it seems here. Something might be deceptive around a feminine energy here. Okay. We have the 4 of Pentacles. Important connections. What is this important connection, Spirit? The Three of Wands. Yeah, I'm feeling, and there's another thing here about releasing attachment. We have the King of Swords and Five of Swords. Some of you, this could be an air sign. Okay. I'm feeling this is a time to really kind of take things in. Something to learn here. Now, the Five of Swords can be a card of cruelty. Okay. If somebody has been, let's just say, messing with you, saying some not so nice things, because the Five of Swords can be a very aggressive energy. You know, feminine energy can even be that way. So we've got somebody here, pile 3, around you, romantic partner, a mother figure, an aunt, a child. It can even be a parent-child relationship. Some of you, this is generational, you know, generational. Some of you might have a conflict to resolve with an air sign. Okay. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm also getting Cancer energy here. Cancer and Gemini. Taurus, Libra, Pisces. Some of you might literally be like in an argument or a fight or not speaking to someone that you may have had an argument with. And some of you, this can even be generational. Like there's a I don't know, either somebody's mistreated you or you've mistreated another person. This is drama, basically. Five of Swords, that's drama. And so I'm feeling like Spirit saying here, it may be for you to kind of be the bigger person, watching your words, watching what you say, how you communicate with others, because we can also become very cold and cruel with our words here with the Five of Swords, especially with this toxic feminine energy. So it's either you that might be taking on this energy, or it could be someone around you, another person, a petty coworker, somebody who's jealous. Okay, somebody who's jealous. I don't know. Like I said, it's a general reading. If this is you, I'm looking at this Three of Wands energy here, and I'm feeling how Spirit is saying it's important for you to not let whatever this situation is to rock your boat. Because looking at her here, she looks like she's at peace. She's getting herself grounded. She's, you know, like she's just kind of keeping herself. So yeah, that's where I'm seeing the fiber and the witch bones. It's like watching who you connect with, what you give your time to, what types of connections you're weaving with other people, because this is not only something that's affecting you right now, it's also something for future, right? For future, for your children and your children's children. It's kind of like, it's all tied together here with the Five of Swords. So something, like I said, it could literally be, I don't know, maybe some of you have mother wounds here. You know, I don't know. Sometimes I look at the Empress in reverse. Sometimes she can be very selfish mother figure here. Or selfish feminine energy, obsessive, selfish, like, sometimes it can even be like a narcissistic parent. I don't know. This looks like a family situation because we have the Ten of Cups energy here. So if that is you, then Spirit is saying here, use caution, okay? Because there's some type of deceptive energy here surrounding a feminine energy. It's either your feminine energy, maybe it's a romantic partner. Some of you, like I said, you could be dealing with an air sign who is maybe not treating you right. And this is Spirit saying, use caution with this person. This person has some toxic, not so great energy, okay? If it is you, then maybe this is working on healing your inner child, okay? Because there can be some mother wounds that I'm seeing here. That might be there, or even a very strict parent. Maybe you've been a strict parent. This can be talking down or even belittling, which can also be something the Emperor. No, that would be more masculine. But we do have masculine energy here too. But talking down to someone, belittling, whether that was done to you or you doing that to someone else. So yeah, again, going back to what you weave with people, right? Your connection's important. If you are someone who has a tendency to self-sabotage, right? This can be working on healing those thoughts, because it may even be that you are holding on to energy here, false beliefs about the self, right? That you need to heal, that you're working on releasing here, okay? Maybe the Six of Cups can even be symbolic of you doing some inner child healing, okay? And taking a look at maybe how you talk, your internal dialogue, maybe something that you want to do there as well, okay? So that is all that I have for you, pile number 3. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading.